conditioner for 45 minutes and talk about what he needs to get better at. So he knows it's just creating that muscle memory and just gaining that experience in order to do that.
Garrett, you're the new guy on staff coming off a championship game appearance. You feel pressure in this role to deliver?
I just think I do every year probably. I just think you always put more pressure on yourself than anybody else is going to. So I just think that's the nature of what we do, and that's kind of those positions you want to be in, right? But I wouldn't say any more than I probably have any other year.
Okay, I can't hear everybody. Sorry, and I talk so loud.
That's all right.
Your assistants talk about the confidence that you bring in and to come into a staff where everybody else knows each other. They play together. And for you to walk in, what was that like? And where does that confidence, especially you're 33 years younger than all those guys too, like where does that come from? What's your makeup? What's gotten you?
Lucky to be around a lot of great people, early in my career, and how I was brought up in my hometown with my parents and coaches that I had at a young age. I mean, that's definitely a part of it. And then Coach Leach and just kind of my background and into coaching. And then I just think at the end of the day, just belief in myself and belief in what we do, and knowing that even through some thick and thin or some good times and bad times, that what we do is enough. And I think if we have the buy-in and we find ways to adjust when we need to, but just knowing that even when things get tough, if you stay the course, we're going to be okay, and I just think a total belief in that is probably where a lot of it comes from.
Has there been a moment so far in this where you went a moment where you realized like this was 100% the right move, or things clicked, or you were like, all right, these are my guys, this is my staff, my players, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, last year transition over here, I mean, just all of it is such a complete whirlwind, when you have a long season like we did last year and you come right into this, I mean, you get zero break. And so that's a long, for me personally, it's been a long 2 years. Changed jobs from SMU, went to TCU to here. And so just for me and my family, it's been a long 2 years from that standpoint. And it's been unbelievable. It's been hectic. But to answer your question, I would say probably once we actually got into spring football, just once you actually get on the field and you're practicing, you're with your guys, you're with your coaches out there figuring it out, that's probably when I guess it kind of settled in maybe. It was probably that point in time.
Spring game is one thing. How much of you running downhill getting ready to
I'm glad I did it at the spring game. I needed a rehearsal, that's for sure. The little simulation in the lobby over there doesn't do it justice, that's for sure. But that was pretty cool. I always kind of heard about that tradition. Obviously, I've seen it on TV, and thinking it wasn't going to be that big of a deal for a spring game and all that, and then we did, and I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. Need some more practice probably. I've been doing the Peloton, so I've been trying to get my legs ready.
You're ready.
Shipley just as a player, he was always to see it three positions, first person to do that. Just your evaluation of him and how he fits in.
Of Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude's a special player. He's versatile, he's tough. He can do things outside the tackles. He can do things in space, and obviously he's a guy that he's fearless enough to shove it up in there in between the tackles. So he's a unique skill set. His mentality's awesome. He's going to be a guy that I think is going to be asked to do, quite a few different things within our offense. So that's fun to kind of see what he can handle, and whatever he can handle, we're probably going to keep throwing it that way at him. But we got to be smart, not overload him too. So that's the fine line as a coach. You got to always take into account.
How have you done that in the past, or how do you anticipate doing that this year, kind of not wanting to overload anybody or touch count, that type of stuff?
You're always keeping track in fall camp. You're keeping track of what you're doing in season, obviously, and just so everything for us comes back down to repetitions. Can you practice it enough? Is it things he can handle and be consistent and execute at a high rate? And whenever you can't, you probably need to adjust as a coach. That's with everybody. That's with everything. So whatever we can execute at a high rate, that's what we'll keep doing. Hey, Mike.
Were you fishing recently? I think I saw a tweet. Or
Yeah.
Were you into the hunting and fishing? How's that been from a lifestyle perspective? You mentioned the family transition. What's it been like for y'all?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Drive not even an hour from where we live, and you're in the mountains and you're fly fishing in a river. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think one of our coaches went and rafted with a few of our players over the summer. So you're just in a unique location, as we all know, if you live here, of what's accessible and the lakes and all that. It's been unbelievable. Yeah, we took full advantage in our time off up here around Clemson for about 10 days. So it's been good.
Have you started to get kind of a sense of how deep tradition runs here?
Kind of piece by piece, you know. I mean, it's almost like every day I kind of pick up maybe on something from a tradition standpoint. But yeah, I mean, you can tell it's in deep roots around here. That's for sure.
Special plays, would you ever do it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty intriguing. There's a lot going on. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm all for creativity and kind of thinking out of the box and all those things. So those guys are the kings of it. Yeah. Yep. Nah, Yep, jumbo package, all of it. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely, I think, have some pieces where we can get creative if we want to. I don't know. We're going to have an audition. I've had about 5 guys already come up to me wanting to be in it, so we may have to have an audition here in fall camp.
Are you more of a trout fisherman or a bass fisherman?
I would say it's not like I fish all the time, but I would say if I had to choose, probably more of a trout fisherman. You know, I'm kind of into the fly fishing right now and all that, so that's kind of my kick right now.
Did you do a lot of fishing as a kid growing up?
No, I grew up in Muleshoe, Texas. There's no water. So yeah, this whole lake thing and fishing and all that is something that I didn't do a whole lot of growing up. So I'm taking advantage now.
A lot has been made over the years of Dabo hiring former players. It was big news for a lot of people that he went outside of that circle and brought you in. Being in it, what do you see as the value? And as you look around this program that's built on guys that are born and bred in that tradition and all of that, what's the benefit of having some of those guys around and helping form your program and your department around them?
I mean, obviously these guys just know Clemson and know the program, know what it means to be here and go to school here, play here, all those things. And so, you know, those guys have helped me and maybe kind of just accelerating me fitting into kind of what goes on here and just our process and Coach Sweeney and everything he believes in, just all of that. And so you can tell it's a tight group. Everybody has known everyone forever. And yeah, I'm definitely the total outcast that way. But
Welcome you in.
oh yeah, no, they've been unbelievable. They truly been unreal for our family, for sure.
Do you see a connection kind of on a different level that they're able to have or a buy-in from the players? Because, like, these guys know it. They were here. They clearly helped build this facility.
Yeah, I mean, you just compare it to other programs, it's just the continuity factor. I mean, that's the bottom line. There's continuity here, and there has been for a long time, and that's just not the case really anywhere else, you know, from a football staff standpoint. I mean, that just doesn't happen anymore. So that's the bottom line of where, you know, we're definitely different here.
Has that been a transition for you, Garrett, in the sense that Clemson is not for everybody and everybody's not for Clemson? You know, that you have to recruit the right guy, you know, not maybe somebody who's like overly invested in NIL or transfer portal or other issues like that today.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different from places I've been and just some different thought processes, but that's what makes it cool as a coach, and you come into different situations and different experiences, is now I get to kind of see how other people do it and how Clemson has had sustained success for so long. And so that's part of, you know, kind of a growing perspective for me.
Coach, everybody's seen what's the level of quarterback competition?
I just think there always is. I mean, no matter what you did last year and no matter what you did in spring football, I mean, you got to come out and you got to be able to do that in fall camp where we have enough confidence in you to move forward and continue to give you reps. And that's just how it always goes. Everybody in here has seen starters that started the first game and then they get pulled at halftime or whatever. I mean, it's just that's the nature of the beast. So I think they always know that there's always competition in that room.
You obviously knew Cade in high school being in Texas. Just do you remember when you first met him or encountered him and what your first impressions were in high school?
Talking to him on the phone was really our first interaction a few times early on in his recruitment. Kind of just the same kid he is now, thinking back to it. But I never really got to be around him too much in person, but certainly remember seeing him. Their high school was on TV a fair amount, especially in the playoffs down there in Texas, and so was always kind of able to watch him in their playoff run at Westlake. But he's just an impressive, steady kid, and he's a guy that's been brought up with a really good family, and I don't think he's probably changed just a whole lot, probably in their eyes for sure.
5 more minutes with this group. 5 minutes with this group.
Establishing a relationship with a quarterback like that.
Just being who I am, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's maybe the right thing. I guess it is the right thing, but I don't know if that's the best. But yeah, just building trust with them in the meeting room, on the field, and then certainly you got to do some things outside of football where you're just being a mentor for them, and just being someone they can trust,